Hello, everyone. Yes, it's a very sad day. Well, I can't say sad. I have to say maybe melancholy. I can't say sad because it's been a wonderful 25 or so years of Charles Martinet's Mario, and he's like in his 70s. In fact, I think a lot of the classic Nintendo developers and people that have been around all of our life are really up there in age. So it's not just him.
He's 67, and he was born in September. He's about to be 68.
Yeah, and
He's
I
going
think
into his 70s.
Miyamoto's in his 70s too, and I think a lot of our Nintendo dream makers are up there in age.
hmm The voice that we've grown so used to being Mario.
Yeah, I Mario 64, which is Martinet's first appearance. Well, I can't say that he's not his first appearance, but it is his first game as Mario's voice.
hmm
That was pretty much my earliest memories. So I've been surrounded by his voice ever since I could maintain consciousness. So it's going to be interesting going forward to hear other voice actors pick up the role. Which, I mean, we've had the Mario movie. That wasn't a total
Right.
blowout.
Actually, no.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that I was pleasantly surprised. Even in Chris Pratt's more Mario-esque accent was still fine. But the latest voice actor, and I say that now, is because we do have another voice actor. But from my understanding and from the articles that I've read, thank you IGN, I don't think we have a name associated with that actor.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to think that Odyssey was Martinet's last game. And,
Well,
I mean, what a game to go off on. But I guess we did have the movie. That's not a game, but we did have the movie. He cameoed here and there. So
yeah,
there's that. He wasn't Mario, but he was that jump man in the arcade. So, we had a little last taste of Martinet, but really it was Odyssey.
he was
So
also the
going,
dad in the Mario movie.
Yeah.
he played a
He
few
just didn't do the
characters. Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
However, I think there might be a correction. I don't think Odyssey was his last game. I think it was Mario Rabbids Spark of Hope.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
So that's an
Not
interesting
even
one to leave it all
not
on.
even developed by Nintendo.
yeah. Okay, well, no. That's fair.
Oh,
I'm personally trying to forget that Ubisoft is a company that exists, and as far as Assassin's Creed is concerned, they're just games that appear. But I hear that Sparks of Hope. I hear that the Mario plus Rabbids games are actually pretty cool. So
The first one was
I
pretty
don't
good. I played that one, but it didn't keep me around for another one.
And Sparks of Hope seems like it's kind of adding more to the formula and just changing stuff in general. So,
Mm-hmm.
cool, good for them. That's a cool game to end on, I guess, but I'm in my head canon is that it's Odyssey.
I will concede Odyssey, and it's not just Mario that he's leaving behind because it's also Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi,
Mm-hmm.
and that's actually quite the roster of characters that he voiced, as well as characters that Nintendo need to fill. From what I understand, Mario and Luigi are going to be separate actors, but I'm not sure what the path is for Wario or Waluigi.
I think that what the way that the Muppets handled things after Jim Henson's passing away was pretty good. I think that they found separate actors to handle each of the different characters in a way that was accurate to the characters, rather than finding another gem like Jim Henson. And same thing with whenever Seth MacFarlane decides to retire or whatever, there are these
Mhm.
characters that do a really good job of being able to handle several different kinds of voices all in their own throat. That's a
Yeah.
really difficult skill to learn. Even a lot of the best voice actors in the world, like they can only do like one voice, really, maybe like a handful of voices. So instead of finding another unicorn that can somehow be a perfect Mario and a perfect Luigi and Wario and Waluigi and whatever other characters in the Mario verse that Martinet does, because apparently he does like all of the enemies sounds and stuff too. Like, what a freaking legend this guy is.
Quite an
I think that
accomplished actor.
it
Mhm.
makes sense to maybe start branching out a little bit
Yeah.
and finding a good Mario and a good Luigi, etc.
Yeah.
At least that's my take.
It's and no, you're not wrong. It's hard to find a diamond in the rough. and his story is actually quite fun. There was an interview that he had not too many years ago, actually talking about going to an interview for Mario, and he doesn't play video games, but he was able to do a Mario and eventually a Luigi on the spot at a trade show. So he was showcasing his voice at a 3D model of Mario, showcasing the N64, but on the spot, because it was real time, the audience that was looking at Mario and talking to Mario because he was behind the scenes asked for Luigi, and he created the Luigi voice on the fly.
Wow, what an
Yes.
amazing improv guy.
Yeah, so he
Wow.
he improved all the characters.
That's awesome.
He's a very, very fun history, a fun guy.
It's hard to find a diamond in the rough, and it's hard to find one that perfectly suits existing characters too, like Mario and stuff. It's like, just finding, like they could hire Seth MacFarlane. He's a diamond in the rough, but I don't think that he would be a good Mario and stuff. The only option is to really kind of hire out.
And I think that's what they're doing right now, because Wonders is not going to be voiced by Martinet, and I actually didn't even know that in the trailer. It glossed over me that there was a slight difference.
People did point that out. I know, like Arlo did a video that was like, that doesn't sound like Charles Martinet. And then I think everyone just kept talking about how there's no way that's Charles Martinet because it doesn't sound like him, to where Nintendo had to come out with these statements.
Yeah.
So,
I think he did a good enough job to run it through me.
Most people didn't notice. It wasn't until the people who are really particular jumped in and let the internet know,
Yeah, and then you can hear the difference. It's hard to not hear the difference once it's been made known to you. But originally, it didn't bother me. I didn't catch it until it was pointed out, and then I was like, oh yeah, that is different. What's up with that? Well, now we know what's up with that.
And apparently he's just kind of retiring in general. I guess that there was a quote from him a few years ago saying that he wanted to voice Mario until the day he dies. But the thing is that he is getting that was a few years ago, and in your late 60s, age starts happening a lot faster,
Yeah.
Actually, sorry, hang on. I was reading that he wasn't retiring. I was reading that he's just changing his position. That his official position now is like a Nintendo ambassador.
I was going to try to lead into that, but he's retiring from voice acting, to my knowledge, aside from some smaller roles, because his net worth is he's good, he's set, but he is stepping down from the voice acting side, and Nintendo did bring him on as a kind of ambassador. So he's going to be doing some, if I had to guess, if there's another Mario movie or stuff, he's going to do cameos or whatever, get paid the smaller checks to, for fun stuff. But I assume that he is actually stepping down from the voice acting world in general.
Yeah, and I would like to see him stick around, because at this point, I would put him as a Nintendo treasure. He definitely is. So,
because he's been on all sorts of stuff. Yeah. He's been on all sorts of other stuff. Like, he was in Dragon Ball Super. He was in like all sorts of like other voice acting things.
Was he really?
Apparently, yeah. I'm looking at his
Which character did he play?
I don't know. But he's been in a bunch of stuff. He's been in a bunch of, I guess, Toei Animation English dubs. But he was in Anastasia. He was in the game. Oh, that's cool.
Actually. Anastasia, the animated movie?
Yeah. He was in a few of the Herbie movies, I guess. So he's been around, he's just retiring from voice acting in general. He also
that's some news for
acted in some other stuff too. So he's not just Mario. He's just retiring. And I think that that's a fine age to retire.
No, that's perfectly fine.
But yeah, he is sticking around as the Mario guy, even if he's not doing the voice. We don't know who's doing the voice.
They're not going to tell us until after Wonders comes out. Or at least the article I read, Nintendo stated, watch for the credits of Mario Wonder, and then you'll get your next Mario, or you'll get the Mario who, I don't know if it's going to be the next Mario or if it's just the Mario for that game.
So when speedrunners beat the game 45 minutes after it comes out, then we'll know. Then we'll
If
know
that.
exactly who it is. Yeah. If
45 minutes sounds like a slow run for a Mario game.
Yeah, I wonder if we could potentially ever see the return of Mario's like deep Brooklyn accent at some point.
I guess you
Okay.
kind of got it with Chris Pratt. It's not that deep, but they
Yeah.
tried to do a Brooklyn accent.
What if it's Chris Pratt?
What if it is?
To be honest, I wouldn't like that. I don't want that. I don't think Chris Pratt would want that.
To be honest, something like that is one of the things that I'm worried about with them replacing all of the voice actors, like giving each character their own new voice actor. I'm worried that they're just going to go with a lot of main staple voice actors in the industry, and then the voices they might feel a little less unique. Like, whenever Nolan North voices a character, I can always tell it's him, even if he's doing like a different voice, because some of his like vocal mannerisms are always the same.
It seems like, I don't know about Nintendo in particular, but it seems like there's an effort to try to get video game voice actors to stay in voice acting roles rather than just having A-list celebrities doing it, which is kind of the opposite of how animated movies are going. Animated movies are hiring actors to do voice acting, which kind of makes sense that Mario was doing that. But like Xander Mobus, for example, he started off in Smash Bros. Ultimate, but he's been doing like, he did Persona, he's been continuing to do only voice acting roles. I think that's good. I think that's really solid for the voice acting community and that whole field to continue to be their own thing. I don't know about Nintendo's philosophy regarding that, but a lot of the voice actors for Fire Emblem and stuff, for example, have all been just voice actors, not a whole lot of actual practical actors in there. So that makes me a little bit more hopeful. Granted, Fire Emblem, both of the two games that had a lot of voice actors that came out this past like couple years, have both been outsourced to a different company. But I would imagine that Nintendo had some kind of say in that.
Yeah.